Okay, we're back with our last two examples of using elimination to solve a system of two linear equations. So I'm going to jump in on letter C here, which has the equations negative 4x plus y equals negative 7. That one looks good. That's in standard form. And then I have negative 3x equals y. This second equation is not in standard form. What I need to do is bring that y over with the negative 3x. And how I do that is subtract y. And that leaves me with negative 3x minus y equals 0. Now, just because I got rid of this doesn't mean I get rid of the right side of the equation. Y minus y is 0, so we need to put a 0 there. All right, I'm going to just bring this one down here so I can stack them on top of each other and take a look. And right away, I noticed something that looks really awesome, might make my life a little easier. Right here, my first equation has a positive y. My second equation has a negative y. Those are opposites of one another. So that means if I just go ahead and make this an addition problem, those will cancel out. I don't have to do any multiplication to make them opposites. So let's do it. Let's say, all right, let's add these. I have negative 3x plus a negative 4x gives me a negative 7x. My y's cancel, and that equals 0 minus 7. Oh, negative 7. Divide by negative 7, and x equals positive 1. And now I just plug x into any of my equations. This one seems to be a little simpler than the other one. So if I take and put my 1 in, negative 3 times 1 equals y. Well, that means that negative 3 equals y. Or you could say y equals negative 3. And my solution then is the point 1, negative 3. Okay. That one we had to rewrite, but we didn't have to multiply because we already had opposite coefficients. This last one is a special one. We have 2x plus 3y equals 16, 5x minus 10y equals 5. Now our numbers are gonna get kind of big in this, so remember you can use your calculator for multiplying, adding, subtracting, dividing, whatever you need. First, let's look and make sure these are in standard form. They both are. Then let's look and see if our coefficients on either our x or our y terms are opposites. I've got 2x and 5x, those are not opposites of each other, and I have 3y and negative 10y, and those also are not opposites of one another. Now, in example B, if you remember, let me go back there, that wasn't too bad because I had only to multiply one equation by 2. Look over here, let me get this one. This one, I only had to multiply this one by 2 because if I multiplied the negative 2y by 2, I got negative 4y, which happened to be opposite of the positive 4y. Unfortunately, when I go back to the problem we're talking about, 2 does not go into 5, 3 does not go into 10, and vice versa. When this happens, we actually have to multiply both equations, and I usually just choose the ones with smaller coefficients to eliminate. So I'm going to eliminate x. And what I do is I just use the coefficient's least common multiple. So 2 times 5, that's 10. So I'm going to go for a coefficient of 10, which means the first equation I'm going to have to multiply by 5. The second equation I'm going to have to multiply by 2. Pretty easy to see. We just multiply the equation by the other coefficient. So see 5 up here, 2 down here. Okay? Unfortunately, if I just multiply those, I'm going to end up with a positive 10x for both of them, and those will not cancel. So I have to make one of these negative. I'm just going to make the 2 negative. All right, so when I distribute this 5 into this equation, 5 times 2x gives me 10x. 5 times 3y is 15y. 5 times 16 is 80. Then I'm going to distribute this -2 into the second equation, and that gives me -2 times 5x is -10x. -2 times a -10y is a +20y, and -2 times 5 is -10. So our goal of getting opposite coefficients has been reached right here. I have a +10x and a -10x. Now I can go ahead and make this an addition problem. Those x terms cancel. 15y plus 20y is 35y, and 80 plus -10 is 70. Divide by 35, and y equals 2. Y equals 2, I can go ahead and plug that in either of the equations. I'm going to plug it in the first one. So the first one is 2 times x plus 3 times y, so that'd be 3 times 2 equals 16. 2x plus 6 equals 16. Subtract 6. 2x equals 10. Divide by 2, x equals 5. So we have our solution, 5, 2. All right, guys, see you tomorrow.